So I don't know about you, but when it comes to eyeshadow, I have recently just been wanting soft, easy looks, maybe some fun and sparkle, but done in a bit more of an understated way. You know, there was a time period where it was like all the multi-chromes, all the colors, as bright as it could possibly be, you know, doing all the things. And then after that, I got more into very neutral, soft looks, like one and dones, just, you know, kind of like the minimal, right? And I've been trying to find a balance between those two things. And I know in a video recently, I talked about how I've been enjoying wearing my multi-chromes in a softer way. So for this month's Wildcard BYOP, I decided to do a palette that I'm calling Understated and Underrated. So more of those, like, let's say softer or not quite like electric neon multi-chromes, but the shadows that still give me a little bit of fun, but are very easy to use, you know, something that I just know and trust and know will always look good. Give me a little bit of almost like, maybe like a double take where it's like, oh wait, that's some really fun shadow. You know, maybe not like ba-bam as you walk into the room, but something that gives people that cause to like do a second look, right? So that's gonna be what we get into today. But if we haven't met before, my name is Kelly and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist, and here on my channel, I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. And if you are new to this series, my friend Kara from Beauty and the Frizz and I started this several years ago as a way to get more use out of our single eyeshadows. So it's all about just enjoying the makeup that we have, getting some use out of things, rather than just buying them, swatching them, oohing and eyeing, and shoving them away in a drawer. So I will make sure to have her video down below and any other creators that are doing this one, because this is absolutely an open collab. If you love single shadows, if you want to get more use out of your single shadows and you want to join in, whether you are a content creator or not, we would love to have you. I'll talk more about that at the end of this video and share next month's theme. I'm gonna have to talk to Kara because I don't think we picked out a theme. And speaking of themes, I'm gonna be really curious to see what people do this month. We've never done a wild card before. It's always been a set theme. But you know, I was just thinking, like, it's just kind of fun every once in a while to just create a BYOP for BYOP's sake. Or I would be curious if maybe somebody's gonna like dupe the vibes of something. I don't know, we're just gonna have to see, which is part of the fun of this month. And again, I will have anybody else who I know is doing this video linked down below. Okay, so understated and underrated, y'all. Let's get into this. I'm gonna zoom you in a little bit more. And for today, of course, I'm gonna be sharing with you all of the details on the shadows in here. We'll be doing swatches and one look together. So let's zoom in and get that started. All right, I went ahead and turned down the light just a little bit so that we can see these shadows in their realistic form. I am very excited about this palette. I think that this is, I didn't mean for it to be a transitional palette because honestly, like here in Wisconsin, y'all, we have a lot of winter left. Even if technically the calendar's about to flip to spring, we have a lot of winter left. So that definitely wasn't my vibe, but I do think this would work as a transitional palette. So here we have all of the shades. I honestly thought about just doing all like shimmery shades and then just pairing it with like one matte shadow. I literally did think about doing that because that's been kind of my vibe. A lot of days is just like one matte, maybe two to just give a little bit of dimension because that's always what makes me feel good with my eye shape. And then just like whisking on something easy and lovely and something that I just know is gonna make me feel put together. But I did decide to kind of, you know, round out this color story. So I did say, by the way, in the last video that I did, while we have had the rule so far of 10 shadows in this palette, you know, I just say do however many you want, because if you're like me and you enjoy more shadows in a palette, do it that way. But if you're someone where either like it's intimidating to think of having to build a bigger color story, maybe you have a smaller single eyeshadow collection and you're like, I don't think I could do like a 10 shadow palette. That's cool. Just do like a 4 shadow or 5, whatever floats your boat and whatever gets you using the makeup you have. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. I'm gonna pull out my little magic wand. So as I'm digging here, I hope everybody is doing well. We have had quite the cold and the snow here, so maybe some of that is like the vibe in here, because I feel like some of it is like dusky but done in like a soft way, and then some of it is like light and bright, which also is what I need when the weather is just like bleh and gray. So I don't know, I feel like this is very fitting for me. I just really love the way that this palette turned out. So this was the first shadow that I picked out, and I think that this is very reminiscent of where multi-chrome shadows started and that we haven't been appreciating. So this is Thalassic from Devinah. And by the way, I do have an affiliated code that you can use to save on the Devinah website. It is KEEPBEAUTYREAL. I did purchase the shade, but just know that if you want any of these Devinah Pretties, you can go ahead and snag them with that discount. Hold on, I'm taking a pause just to put a little bit of MAC Fix Plus on my hand, just honestly to like hydrate my skin. Because I looked down at my hand and it's like the back of my hand is literally like a little bit peely, so we're just gonna let that dry though. So I'm not doing this with with wet skin or wet fingers, but it was dry. It was like desert dry. So anyway, as I was saying about Thalassic, I really think that the shade is so pretty. It has a beautiful base, and then the flip of it is great. And I think this is one of those, like, I don't know, I would kind of consider this a spicy neutral. I'm gonna start up a little higher just so that we have some more swatching room. And I will do it up close so that you guys can see. So can you see how the base is a little bit warmer, and then it has this like yellow gold I see, and then almost like a purple, and then like a mauvey sort of like plummy pink. I mean, it's beautiful and just so smooth. And this is like, to me, this is like that. You could totally just put it on with one neutral eyeshadow, and this would go with just about anything, and it would just enhance your eye without enhancing a lot of texture. So very happy to play with this one. Now the next one, I knew that I wanted to pull this one out because I've not only been enjoying this one as an inner corner shade, but also as a very quick and easy lid shade. And this is again from Devinah, and this is Sour Spanks. I probably put this in a recent BYOP. I should probably be more organized and like keep a note on my phone of all of the shades that I have used so that I'm not like doing lots of crossover, but sometimes you just got to use what you love. So you can see here, this shade really has a beautiful reflectivity. It does have a lot of like little micro sparkles to it, but not flaky at all. And I just really enjoy this one. And the thing that is fun about this is I see both yellow and almost like a bit of pink, like a, yeah, like a pearlescent warm pink to it. So again, I think this is one that would go with a lot of different looks. And it's just so pretty. And you could, you know, pack it on a little bit more for some extra bang, or just like tap it on the inner corner, brings a little light to the situation. And this time of year, we all need that. Okay, this next one. This is probably the most like bam colorful. It's not the most shifty, but it probably is the most colorful one. But here's the thing. If I am like, I don't know what I want to wear, I just know that I want it to look good, I want to feel really put together, I just want to, you know, look my best and also feel like I've got fun makeup on, this is one that I grab. This is another Devinah shade. I promise they're not all Devinah, but I just knew right away, like in my brain, I was like, yeah, there are definitely a few Devinah that I want to feature in here. So this is Celesta. Y'all, can you see the dip in that pan? This is a very well used and well loved shade. This might be one of my first ones that will ever hit pan. The thing that I love about this shade is, of course, it's a green. Let's just start there. You know, I love a green. And it's this almost like olivey, yet a little gold. It is just so bright, so beautiful. You can play this down and wear it with something with more neutrals. You could also put it on with something with like some electric chartreuse. I've also used it with burgundies to sort of bring out, I'm just getting a little bit more here. My dry skin is not doing these justice. You can use it with burgundies to bring out more of the base, which will then make the sparkle look even more enhanced. So absolutely a stunner. It's just gorgeous. It is just so fun. It is that like grungy, very bright. It's very bright and very grungy at the same time. It's sort of like a goldy olive. I'm here for it. All right, in this next row, these shadows, I would say this whole collection is very underrated. Everybody loves Clionadh's stained glass shadows. I don't think enough people have really gotten as many of their circle pans, round pans, whatever. This is the shade Vortex, and this is so pretty. So I actually had two different circle pans, round pans. Oh my gosh, I forget every time what they call them, but I had two that I was picking from, but I decided to stick with this one because this is just such a beautiful, I would say it's a very soft duochrome, or just like a very dimensional shimmer. And I do see a duochrome because I see a warmer base and then it's got this beautiful like jade green shift to it, like a deep tealy jade shift to it. Can you see? I mean, the thing about this is the way that this would be understated is an understated smoky eye where you could just take a brown shadow and blur that all over and then just tap this over the top and it would be absolutely gorgeous. Just like two and done, perfect winter smoky eye. Absolutely love it. All right, this next one is probably the most babam of all of these, and I kind of forgot about this one. I think that Deandra either used this in a look or had swatched it recently for some reason. I don't know, but somebody was talking about Frozen Waves, and I was like, oh, I remember when that shadow first came out, how much I loved it, and I completely forgot about it. I will say, I feel like now I will probably appreciate it more because I've been doing more like purples, lavenders. This definitely has a lovely, like, I would say like an ultraviolet lavender shift and some teal. If you can see that there, absolutely beautiful. Sorry that my nails, I swear I have not been like digging graves by hand. I did some very dark hair color on a client on Valentine's Day, and that means that I will always get my nails stained with color. Hopefully you can see there. This is just, it's so pretty. It's so reflective. Again, you could very easily just pop one matte on and dust this one over the top, but it also would make a really beautiful inner corner. So much fun. I'm glad. This is why, like, just watching content sometimes, I don't even want to watch content that's going to make me want to buy more things. I just like to be reminded of like what I already own and that I kind of forgot about that. So that's why I love doing this for all of you. Okay, this next Devinah shade is actually one that I purchased in the Black Friday sale. I was just kind of like going through the site looking at shades that maybe I didn't have yet, and I saw Crixus and I was like, how do I not have this shade? This is totally a Kelly shade. So this matte is, I would say, an olivey khaki shade. It's really, really pretty. I've only used it once or twice because it got put in a palette that I wouldn't think that I had Devinah shades in, and when I was going through for this video, I was like, oh my gosh, I saw that. And I actually, this bumped out Clionadh for me. Was that the one that I had in here? Yes. So another more like olivey based neutral, but that one is a little bit lighter. And so I decided to go with something more deep. I will say that I think that this also has a bit more of like a yellowy olive to it. So I just thought that that would be kind of fun, you know, especially, gosh, I don't know. I got these two super close and then this one is like very far away. I don't know what to tell y'all. But you can see here, it definitely has that like olivey neutral shade, and it's just got a little bit more depth to it, which I think will help with some of these, although I do really love Clionadh too. So now for our next shade, we have a beautiful kind of like murky grayed out green. This is a well-known one from Sydney Grace. This is General. I definitely wanted to have a couple shades that we could add some depth to a look. Recently, like I said, it might just be something that's like light, but if I want a bit more shape to my eye, like if I'm just wanting it to look a little bit more contoured, I do like to take a bit of a dark shadow, even if it's just, you know, in the very, very outer crease and blurring that in a lot. It does just really seem to help. So I do love the Sydney Grace mattes, and this one is one that I think is just so seasonally appropriate. But you can, you know, really blend it out to get almost more of like a gray green too if you want something that's a little lighter. Okay, this next one is also one of my newer Devinah acquisitions. This is the shade Polar Eclipse. This shade is part of the Midwinter's Nightfall collection that the brand brought out for Black Friday. And I don't think that I've swatched it, but I really kind of forgot. I swatched it to kind of like ooh and ah over it. I always love a yellow and pink together. And sometimes I'm like, oh, the pink isn't as strong as I thought it was going to be, or the yellow isn't as strong as I thought it was going to be. And this one really hits home. So this shade, I think, just again represents a shade that you could wear really light and bright. You could also pop it on the inner corner. Hold on, I'm taking a pause just to put a little bit of MAC Fix Plus on my hand, just honestly to like hydrate my skin. Because I looked down at my hand and it's like the back of my hand is literally like a little bit peely. So we're just gonna let that dry though. So I'm not doing this with with wet skin or wet fingers, but it was dry. It was like desert dry. So anyway, as I was saying about Thalassic, I really think that this shade is so pretty. It has a beautiful base and then the flip of it is great. And I think this is one of those like, and what I love about this shade is the yellow base is so strong. So it definitely looks yellow, like you get a really light, bright shade, but when you turn your head or if you have it all over the eye, it's gonna be like yellow and that's like, oh wait, you've got some pink there. That's so cute. So I really do like that. You can kind of see the shift there. It is just so pretty. And it is definitely, the pink is definitely an electric pink. Like sometimes they look a little bit warmer, like almost like a red amber. And sometimes they're just like kind of dull. This really is like pow. So very excited to play with this one more. I wanted a matte that could very easily be, again, just that one that you like whisk everywhere and it would go with pretty much every shade in here. And I chose Peanut Butter Cookie from Sydney Grace. Now this is definitely a cooler tone. So if you have like really, really warm skin, maybe you would want something that has a little bit more neutrality to it. Oh, I just swiped through. I was itching my arm like an idiot. I was like, what? How did I just get all that? Okay, you'd think this is my first video where I'm swatching. Well, I'm glad you got to see the swatches while they were still perfect. My goodness. Hot Mess Express through here. All right. So this shade is really just a nice cool toned neutral. Like I said, a lighter shade that I could just use all over. Easy peasy. Don't really have to think about it, but it really does have that pinkier undertone, especially you can see on my like neutral olive skin. It's definitely there. Another shade that has a bit of pink, I think I talked about pulling this into my Mocha Mousse palette last month, but I didn't go with it because like depth-wise it was similar to something else. By the way, I'll have that video linked down below if you do want to see the Pantone Color of the Year palette. So this shade is a classic. If you are a Makeup Geek fan, you maybe have this one. This is Frappé, and this color is still going strong. It's absolutely beautiful. I thought, again, I do like a combination of these more, oh, rest in peace, Celesta. That's where I like wiped. I do like a combination of like a bluey green with a bit of like a pinky neutral shade. I don't know, there's just something that I like. I mean, this definitely, it's not pink by any means, but it does have that bit of like a pink undertone to it. This shade is so pretty. I mean, look, still just looks absolutely beautiful. I love this. So definitely gonna enjoy wearing this one. All right, this one's a bit self-serving, but when I thought about understated and underrated, you know what? I think Pretties for Your Face has some real gems if you are willing to dig and research some swatches. You don't have to dig and research swatches on this one. I can tell you it's good. Yes, this is one of the shades that I created. This is Lovesband, and really, Lovesband has such a beautiful effect because it is bright, yet a little bit murky. Like the shimmer to it is bright, but the base really has like an understated, slightly grayed out shade. And so I think that you can wear this one blurred out. You can wear it really packed on with a glitter glue to enhance it. It's just absolutely stunning. I really love this. I hope that, I keep thinking like, am I too like bright? My camera is saying that I'm not, but I feel like this just isn't giving as much life as it really should. If I need to, I will do swatches at the end. Now this is definitely a cooler tone. So if you have like really, really warm skin, maybe you would want something that has a little bit more neutrality to it. Oh, I just swiped through. I was itching my arm like an idiot. I was like, what? How did I just get all that? Okay, you'd think this is my first video where I'm swatching. Well, I'm glad you got to see the swatches while they were still perfect. My goodness. Hot Mess Express through here. All right. So this shade is really just a nice cool toned neutral. Like I said, a lighter shade that I could just use all over. Easy peasy, don't really have to think about it, but it really does have that pinkier undertone, especially you can see on my like neutral olive skin. It's definitely there. Another shade that has a bit of pink, I think I talked about pulling this into my Mocha Mousse palette last month, but I didn't go with it because like depth-wise it was similar to something else. By the way, I'll have that video linked down below if you do want to see the Pantone Color of the Year palette. So this shade is a classic. If you were a Makeup Geek fan, you maybe have this one. This is Frappé, and this color is still going strong. It's absolutely beautiful. I thought, again, I do like a combination of these more, oh, rest in peace, Celesta. That's where I like wiped. I do like a combination of like a bluey green with a bit of like a pinky neutral shade. I don't know, there's just something that I like. I mean, this definitely, it's not pink by any means, but it does have that bit of like a pink undertone to it. This shade is so pretty. I mean, look, still just looks absolutely beautiful. I love this. So definitely gonna enjoy wearing this one. All right, this one's a bit self-serving, but when I thought about understated and underrated, you know what? I think Pretties for Your Face has some real gems if you are willing to dig and research some swatches. You don't have to dig and research swatches on this one. I can tell you it's good. Yes, this is one of the shades that I created. This is Lovesband, and really, Lovesband has such a beautiful effect because it is bright, yet a little bit murky. Like the shimmer to it is bright, but the base really has like an understated, slightly grayed out shade. And so I think that you can wear this one blurred out. You can wear it really packed on with a glitter glue to enhance it. It's just absolutely stunning. I really love this. I hope that, I keep thinking like, am I too like bright? My camera is saying that I'm not, but I feel like this just isn't giving as much life as it really should. If I need to, I will do swatches at the end, but this shade is just so pretty. I mean, you can see the brightness here, and then like where the light doesn't quite hit it, just has this deeper, murkier undertone. I mean, you can see how light and bright that gets, but like on the curve of the arm where light doesn't hit it, it just has this beautifully like murky, deep undertone. I just love this one. It makes me happy, which is obviously why I created it. And I don't know, there's just something to it. So the last shade in this palette, again, was more for some grounding, some depth, and I thought that just a really beautiful, yummy brown would be great. This is one from Sydney Grace, and this is Triple Chocolate Cake. Just a beautiful, deep shade. You could use this as a liner. You could use it just to like enhance. Of course, you could smoke it out. So many ways that you could use this shade, and I think that it is just really pretty. It does have a really nice undertone to go with some of these shades as well. You know, finding the perfect brown to go with other colors is not as easy as what you would think sometimes. Like sometimes I'm looking for a deep, rich brown and I'm like, that one's a little too red. This one's a little too orangey. Nope, I just want one that has like a beautiful, rich undertone. This is pretty. This reminds me a lot of like a beautiful cocoa shade. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, I am gonna try to give you some zoomed in swatches, and then we're gonna do an eye look. All right, as I am like wiping off all these swatches, one thing that might be really different in my camera right now is my hair color. Obviously, I changed up my hair color. I was ready for something rosy and warm again. So that was a weekend project. You know, the hairdressers are always the last ones to get their hair done, and it was high time. It was very much high time for me. So I think that that's also kind of like throwing my camera off, or at least what I see, where I'm like, whoa. All right, do I know where I'm gonna go with these looks? No, absolutely not. I do not. I'm looking forward to it, but I don't know what I'm planning on doing. So I think I said in the intro of this video that we were doing one look, but I am gonna do two. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna first pop on a little bit of concealer on my eyelids because that's what I would normally do. So I'm gonna take some of this Oma Stay Woke and just pop a little bit of this on and blend it in, and we will go from there. So as I'm blending this out, you guys might maybe be able to tell that I sound somewhat normal again, because right now I don't have my Invisalign in. I'm drinking some coffee. But tomorrow I have my orthodontist check-in to see if I'm officially done. I'm on my last week of trays, and when I was in, they're like, well, when you come in, we'll just kind of like do an overhaul, see if there's anything that we might do more. And I actually just saw my dentist this last week, and he was talking about, like, you know, the little adjustments you have to make with like contouring the teeth and filing a little bit, just because of the way that they're shaped from being like slightly unaligned. You kind of have to even that out, but he was excited. So when I am officially done, I will go get that done. But I'm very happy, definitely ready to do a little whitening though, because just with like the stuff that they put on your teeth, I just feel like that's gotten stained over time. So pretty happy. That was a really cute, feel free to screenshot that if you'd like. But very happy also to be able to not be wearing them anymore. But if I need a few more weeks, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna stay strong and do it. Okay, I'm just gonna set this a little bit because I do want to just have something like a really easy application experience. And if I put down a little bit of powder, I know then that my mattes are just gonna not like stick to the skin, and they also won't be a little darker from the emolliency of a concealer. Okay, since I was just talking up Lovesband, let's go ahead and make sure to use that shade. Again, I just think that it's just such a pretty shade, and you know, the Pretties for your face prices are so great, and you can use my code, by the way, which is again KEEPBEAUTYREAL, both for Devinah and Pretties for your face. I mean, you can get the shadows for like under $2 sometimes. It's crazy. So let's use that, and I'm thinking actually, let's go ahead and pair it with this warm shade here. I think that's going to be really pretty, and then maybe we'll pop in some of that Clionadh shade as well, just for some depth. That's where we're going to start. So again, we've got Makeup Geek Frappé, and again, this is just going to be really nice and simple. I'm just running that through the entire crease, and I am going to just elongate that just a little bit, and I'm going to put that same shade on my lower lash line. Okay, I'm not sure if I got a little bit of something. This brush was clean. I'm wondering if maybe when I was swatching, I sort of like got some shrapnel into these shades, because when I put the Frappé shade on my lower lash line, I feel like I got a little bit of purpley tone in it. It's gonna work. It's totally fine. I'm here for it. We're just going with it. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and take Lovesband. Oh, you know what? This girl really needs to clean some makeup brushes. I will tell you that, because a lot of my brushes are sitting over there. So I feel like I'm kind of getting down to the dregs, but I'm going to do Lovesband. Actually, what I'm going to do is I am first going to take that darker shade, that Vortex from Clionadh, and I'm going to put that on the outer corner. I am going to use some Fix Plus, and I'm just going to pop it right on the outside, because then when I layer over the top, we'll get the depth of that shade, but we'll still get the brightness of Lovesband on the top of that. That's a pretty shade, very pretty. And it definitely, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it really has that beautiful, like, I mean, this does remind me of like, you know, some of the shadows that like MAC did back in the day, where it's just a really beautiful duochrome, but it's done so well. Like, I could totally see this just being like all over the lid. You could just like, even like this Frappé shade, just really build that up and it would be so beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna take Lovesband now, getting that wet as well. Totally could have used a glitter glue. I tell you what, just so much of the time, I am just too lazy to get out a different brush, use a glitter glue, especially because that means I'm gonna have another brush to clean. And cleaning glitter glue out of brushes is a pain in the butt. Let me know, are you team glitter glue? Do you take the time for all of your looks to use glitter glue? Or like most of your looks? Are you like me and you're like, no, I don't have the time for that most of the time? I mean, when I do it, I really like it, but yeah, pretty. That's just really pretty. Okay, I'm just going to take this brush that I had Frappé on and just blend this out a little bit, just so that there's not like a hard edge where the mattes meet. I meant where the shimmers meet the matte. Okay, I'm just gonna take a bit more Pretties for your face. again, soft, it's understated, but it is that like, oh, wow, cute. It's not like, whoa, eyeshadow. This is just one of those looks where I feel like it's enhanced, it's beautiful, but it's not like people see the makeup first. They still see the person first. Am I gonna put an inner corner on? I don't think so. I think I'm just gonna leave it as is. Okay, we'll make sure to do an inner corner on the other side though. Okay, so since this one does have a little bit more depth, I'm gonna do something really bright and just very like on this side. I don't mean bright as in loud, I mean bright as in bright, because I think we're gonna use this Polar Express shade. So I'm gonna start with that, which might seem counterintuitive, but I just really wanna barely blend out the edge of the shimmer and really let the shimmer steal the show. Okay, so y'all, I'm really getting down here on the brushes. So I'm gonna take that Polar Express shade. This would be one of those times that I could totally see like pulling out a glitter glue, because I bet it would really make the shade really pop. I don't feel like taking the time for that right now. I am not gonna lie. So I'm just gonna take this, and first I'm gonna pat it on. And then once I get it really popped onto the lid, we can blend it out a bit. I really like the fact that this collection from Devinah, a lot of it is shades that have some beautiful shift to them, but they don't have a lot of the micro sparkle. And I mean, I love a good micro sparkle moment, don't get me wrong, but I know that there are people who really just don't want that. They just want a beautiful, like, foiled shimmery shade, but they don't want a lot of the little like glitters and specks. And I am bringing this above my crease. Oh yeah, this is a fun one. I mean, this is definitely, again, this is one of those shades where it's going to be like, oh, you're wearing cute yellow eyeshadow, and then you hit the light just right and it's like, oh, wow, pink. Love that. Okay, to go with this, I am just going to use a little bit of that peanut butter cookie, because I do want to keep this just ever so soft, but I want to blend out the edge and give it a little bit of something. And I'm starting more here towards the outside where I'm okay with having it a bit deeper. And then just when there's almost nothing left, just blending out that inner corner. So again, again, this is just like I said, understated. I mean, okay, it's not exactly like a champagne soft shade, right? I don't mean understated in that way, but you know, compared to a lot of the multi-chrome moments that we were having for a while. Then for the inner corner, I am going to take Sour Spanks. I think that's gonna go really well. And we'll pop a bit of this on. I'm just using this on a dry brush, by the way. Whew, that has got some major bang to it. Absolutely, that is absolutely a fun one. Honestly, for this look, I probably would have used the same shade as over here just to like get a little bit of depth and dimension. Like you could very easily just take that Frappé shade and pop it under the lash line. And if you wanted more dimension, you could bring that like up into the crease. But I'm fine with this just being super soft. So I'm just taking that peanut butter cookie, the same shade that we did on the top. So very similar, you know, like, I mean, I'm not doing any like crazy makeup techniques, but that's what it's all about, is something that's just really soft. So I'm really liking both these looks, but we don't have mascara or concealer on. So I'm gonna do that really quick so that you can see the final look. This is all over the place tonight. What can I say? Mascara makes such a difference, doesn't it? I was like, why do I feel like I look so tired? I like the eyeshadow, but it just feels off. I had no eyelashes. Let me tell you, I'm trying to get back into using my lash serum regularly, because I have noticed that that has made such a difference not using it. So I really gotta be better. You know, at night, you're just like, okay, I'm doing all of these skincare things and all the things and all the other things. And then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I've been in this bathroom for like 20 minutes trying to put all the things on my face. And then I just kind of forget about the lash serum. So trying to get back into it. Anyway, okay, enough about that random ramble. I really like both of these looks. Like this is, I mean, so quick and easy, but effective, you know, like just a beautiful eye look. And this is so light and bright and a beautiful shifty multi-chrome, makes it look like you tried harder than you really did, but it's just enough, you know? It's like, it's not, like I said, it's not like a champagne eyeshadow, but it still gives the effect of like effortless, easy to wear. You could maybe forego the super shiny inner corner if that's not your thing. It's my thing. I've gotten away from inner corners. I'm either like no inner corner or all the inner corner recently. I don't know. It's a land of extremes over here, y'all. So thank you for being part of this week. I'm gonna zoom you guys out just a little bit in case you wanna see a little bit more of the full effect. I feel like this has been, like I said, a little bit of a hot mess today, but I just realized today that I had another video planned that I was gonna film, but I just realized today that I'm gonna be gone for a stretch through this weekend and early next week. And so the days that I would normally have time to film, I won't be here. And then all of a sudden it's gonna be Thursday when this video needs to go up. So I was like, okay, guess we're filming a BYOP today. So I hadn't planned on having to chat and put makeup on at the same time. Okay, anyway, let's go ahead and take one final peek at this palette. It's pretty. I am excited to use Frozen Waves. This one, like I said, it's been hiding in my collection. There's a lot of fun ones in here. I'm glad that I finally got to use Polar Eclipse. Like I said, I don't think I used that one before. So as always, this palette is gonna stay out. I have actually really been enjoying my Mocha Mousse palette from last month. That's this one here. If you want all the details, again, that video will be linked down below. 4 themes for next month. Kara and I have not decided that yet. So what I will do is I will leave a pinned comment down below letting you know the theme. And again, if you want to join in, please feel free. We always try to upload the last Thursday of the month, unless holidays get in the way or whatever. But the last Thursday of the month is when we upload. But if you're not a creator and you just want to share with us, you can tag us in pictures on Instagram, whether it's a picture of a look you did, pictures of swatches, just pictures of your palette, whatever. I am trying to share on my community tab when people do that, so that you all can find other makeup lovers if you want to follow along. Again, we're just hoping that you have fun with your makeup. That's the whole point of all of this. So zero pressure at any time. If you like hop in for 2 of them and then you don't do any for a year, that's cool. Do whatever inspires you. We love that. All right, that's it for this BYOP, lovelies. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know down below, like, what is your makeup vibe? Are you like me where you're like, I still like some of the fun shadows, I just want to wear them in a little bit softer way, or like something that is a bit more understated? Or are you like, nope, give me all the shimmer, give me all of the like super, super shinies? Or are you like, nope, I've always been like a champagne and one matte kind of person? That's cool too. Let me know down below. I'd be really curious. Also, I'm really gonna try to do a 3rd look with this palette, so make sure you are following me on Instagram at KEEPBEAUTYREAL so that you can see another look featuring shades in this palette, and I will see you really soon.